If you're struggling to lose weight specifically around the belly, then you're probably making one of these 8 really common mistakes that I see all the time as nutritionists. Let's dive into it. My name's Autumn. I'm a certified clinical nutritionist with my master's in nutrition human performance, and today's video is sponsored by LMNT. More on them in a bit. Okay, the first biggest mistake that could be holding you back is that you're eating the wrong type of carbs and possibly too much of them. Some type of carbohydrates spike our storing hormone insulin more than others, and high levels of insulin are directly tied to weight gain around the belly. These higher insulin spiking carbohydrates are known as higher glycemic load foods. It includes things like pasta, rice, bread, sugars, or even dried fruit and potatoes. Some people can handle these higher glycemic load foods, especially those who are like athletes, but if you are really struggling with weight loss around the belly, then these higher glycemic load carbohydrates are ones that you're going to want to avoid. Instead, sticking with low and possibly medium glycemic load carbohydrates would be a better option. And these include things like broccoli, leafy greens, zucchini, squash, and low sugar fruits. But I do have a full list of the high glycemic and low glycemic load foods. If you want to check that out, I'll have it linked down description below. The second mistake is that you're just not getting enough sleep. And most people completely disregard this or don't see it as relevant, but poor sleep has consistently time and time again been tied to weight gain around the belly. It's because poor sleep raises our stress hormone cortisol, which makes us hungrier the next day, increases our hunger hormone ghrelin, and increases our insulin resistance. Not to mention poor sleep increases our cravings for sugary and starchy foods that work against a belly fat loss goal. And you know that you're getting too little or poor sleep if you're waking up really tired the next day, if you're low in energy, or you feel like you constantly have to rely on caffeine. Now, the goal isn't to get perfect sleep. Like, yeah, that'd be great, but we do want to optimize it as much as we possibly can with our schedule and lifestyle. A few simple tips that make a big difference is not eating 1 to 2 hours before bed and using a magnesium supplement. The third mistake is that you're just not walking enough. Low intensity exercise that keeps our heart rate lower, like walking, specifically burns fat as fuel. And if you can take your walk outside, it also helps to reduce our stress hormone cortisol, and high levels of stress are directly tied to weight gain around the belly as well. One study found that about 8,000 steps or more is needed to actually see the benefits of walking. So if you have like a step tracker, like a Fitbit, then you could use that to gauge that you're getting at least 8,000 steps per day. And especially when you're on a weight loss journey and you're eating lower glycemic foods and you're exercising more with activities like walking, it's really easy to lose a lot of water and a lot of sodium, and replacing those lost electrolytes is important for preventing things like headaches, muscle fatigue, and low energy, which is why I personally make sure that I'm getting electrolytes every single day from today's sponsor, LMNT. LMNT is my favorite electrolyte company, and they were specifically created with lower carb eating, intermittent fasting, and athletes in mind. It actually contains the sodium, the magnesium, and the potassium to help replace those lost electrolytes, all without any sugar, which is really important from a weight loss perspective because a lot of other electrolyte drinks have a lot of added sugar. I also personally just feel so much better when I'm actually just properly hydrated with LMNT, because if you're just drinking water and not replacing electrolytes, you could be making your electrolyte imbalance worse. So I usually have 1 to 2 elements per day. Some of my favorite flavors are the orange or the raspberry or the lemon habanero, and I literally take it with me everywhere. Definitely on days that I exercise, I like to make sure I have LMNT to replace those lost electrolytes, or even if it's just a really hot day and I'm sweating, or even when I'm traveling, it's so easy to get dehydrated. And right now, LMNT is offering my viewers a free sample pack with any order. The sample pack includes 8 single-serve elements free with any LMNT order. This is a really great way to test out all 8 different flavors and see which one you really love. And you can get yours at drinklmnt.com/autumn. This is only available through my link, so make sure to check out drinklmnt.com/autumn. The link will also be in the description down below. Okay, the fourth mistake is that you just have way too much stress. High stress can lead to that high stress hormone cortisol, which is directly tied to weight gain around the belly. And this includes all types of stress, including emotional and physical stress. The body really perceives these both the same way. Stress from your work, from family life, but also from maybe over exercising or under exercising or eating a poor diet or getting poor sleep. And you don't need to be like a Zen master yogi to have zero stress. It's just balancing these different stress factors out and making sure that you can control for the stressors that you actually have control over. For example, if you're under stress from your job and there's not much you can do about that, then you can at least add factors in to reduce stress, like going for a walk after work outside, which has been known to reduce the stress hormone cortisol. Okay, the fifth mistake is eating too frequently or snacking or grazing. Snack foods are generally high in either fat or carbs or both. Both of these don't satiate us in the same way that protein does, which means it's just going to cause us to eat more and more frequently throughout the day. Eating more frequently doesn't allow the body to really ever become metabolically flexible, which means it's able to easily shift back and forth from a state of fat burning to carb burning burning. And this is important for actually being able to tap into fat burning for belly fat loss. I personally like to stick to a meal structure without any snacks, and you can even double down on some of these perks by using intermittent fasting as well, which you can check out exactly how long intermittent fasting takes to work with this video right up here. Okay, the sixth mistake is that you're eating way too little protein. And protein is needed for a body recomposition goal, which is where you're losing body fat specifically. And that's the goal with belly fat loss. You want to lose body fat. So getting adequate protein helps with that body recomposition goal. Now, the amount each person will vary depending on your weight, your activity level, but a good general guideline to at least start off with while you figure out how much protein your body really needs is to aim for about 30 grams of complete protein at each meal, which that's assuming you're having 3 meals a day. You'll be amazed how this step alone can actually help make significant progress towards your goals. Okay, the seventh is you're eating too much fat. Now, we talk a lot about how fat is important for achieving a fat loss goal and helping to stabilize blood sugar levels, but there is a sweet spot in how much fat we really want to be eating per day. The problem is a lot of people will eat a lot of fat, like in the case of higher fat diets, while minimizing the amount of protein that they're eating. If you don't eat enough protein to go along with your fat, then you're not going to be as satisfied and you're going to end up overeating fat because you're still hungry. Now, you don't want to fear fat because fat is important for helping achieve a fat loss goal. You just want to make sure that you're not eating more fat before you first hit your protein needs. Now, the eighth mistake is that you just have too little muscle on your body. In other words, you're not doing the type of exercise that actually promotes muscle retention or even increased muscle. Muscle absorbs excess sugar from the blood supply, which also helps to improve insulin resistance. And remember, insulin resistance is directly tied to weight gain around the belly. Too little muscle can actually make you more insulin resistant and make it harder to achieve a fat loss goal. So incorporating strength training or resistance training can really help to make sure that you actually have adequate muscle mass on your body. And you don't need to be Arnold, you don't need to have like huge amounts of muscle, but we do need to have some muscle or some toning to actually get those benefits of improved insulin sensitivity. With my clients, I like to aim for around 3 to 5 times per week of resistance training. Now, make sure you check out exactly what to eat to help you lose belly fat with this video next. Also, if you're new to my channel and you love this science-backed information, make sure you subscribe right here. Come out new videos every Tuesday and Thursday. All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in my next video.